Coming up on this episode of Game Genie Hijinks. I'm rich, I'm wealthy, yahoo! Woo ha ha ha, I can walk through walls. Wait a minute, is this beating the game or breaking it? All this and more. Hello friends, it's Tim here again for another quick game breaking video. So buckle your seatbelts and get ready to dive beak first into one of the NES's most beloved adventures, DuckTales. Released by Capcom in 1989, this gem stars Scrooge McDuck, bouncing his way through the world on a pogo cane, collecting treasures, dodging traps, and outsmarting rivals in his quest to become the richest duck alive. But today we're not playing by the rules. Today we're cracking open the Game Genie vault and turning Duckburg upside down. From invisible enemies and invincibility to ridiculous money hacks and glitchy chaos. Let's just see how wild this game can get when Scrooge's greed meets pure 8-bit madness. So grab your top hat and cane and let's see what damage we can cause to this epic NES classic. On with the show. So let's start off with an official Galoob Game Genie code that is ATVVXLEZ. And with this bad boy in place you get infinite hit points. This essentially means you can get hit by any enemy, eaten by any plants, and even walk through spikes without officially taking any damage to your health bar. You will still get the knockback effect that comes with being hit, so it's not the same as invincibility, but it's still a super handy code and it will definitely make your life easier in this game. If you want to make the game way harder, then you can also try the code AONAPPAL. This makes things a lot more hectic than it needs to be. With this in place, not only are all characters invisible, but so are the enemies. This makes navigating the levels almost impossible, especially for someone like me who is not very familiar with this game. It's super easy to get lost as you don't really know where you are on the screen, and naturally your health bar just starts taking hits from unseen enemies. I'd only really recommend this code if you want a challenge and you know the game well. Moving on, I was intrigued by the code EIUSELEY, which had the labelled effect of simply beat the game. And well, it sort of does something, I guess. When you start the game, you can select the difficulty setting and where you want to start off, but the moment you try moving, you end up at the end screen, just continuously falling from the top to the bottom of the screen. You can still pause and such, but you can't do anything else apart from watch Scrooge plummet continuously on what I at least think is the last screen of the game. Oh well, it was worth a try given the code's name. Up next we have the very interesting code EINNAGEY, which has some major pros but also some major cons. When you use this code, you can get items from anywhere as you walk along, but you can also receive damage from anywhere as you move along too. So in a nutshell, any item that spawns on the screen you will automatically collect, but if any enemy is attacking on the screen, you will also cop some damage for it. This makes things pretty chaotic, as you will be getting all of the diamonds and ice creams and such, but if a plant attacks or a ghost spooks in your vicinity, then bam, you get hit and die. It's an interesting combo for a code, but I don't think it is that helpful in the long term. If you enter in the Game Genie code ESNAITEY, it has a pretty interesting effect on the game. With this in place, as you walk along the screen, any blocks that you could normally break, automatically break and disappear. Items appear and you can basically just cruise through collecting everything without worrying about using your pogo stick to clear the path. This didn't help me too much getting past enemies, but I did have quite a lot of fun just seeing random things breaking and diamonds and other items being ready for the pickup. It's a handy cheat though, and I would definitely recommend trying it if you play the game. If you want some total duck chaos, then try the code GEOVYGPA. With this entered as your Game Genie code, you will now move 4 times faster than you normally do. All the enemies stay at their regular speed, but far out, Uncle Scrooge is on a mission here. It is actually quite hard to control, as the moment you move on the D-pad, you fly off in that direction. Even going up or down ropes will become turbo ascensions or descensions. This might be a great code for speedrunners or those who know the game better, but for me I struggled a bit to just control this crazy duck. If you want to go to the other extreme of speed, then give the code ENUKIAEI a try. Now your game will be in slow motion. Yes, this is the actual speed of the game, I haven't slowed down the footage in post. This code actually made the game a lot easier for me personally, as it gives you a lot more time to react to incoming enemies or even make certain jumps. It does take a lot of the challenge out of the game, but it's still a pretty interesting Game Genie code for DuckTales. Another interesting cheat code is AEKESLGZ, which is simply labelled Easy Max Money, and it sure does deliver. The moment you touch any jewel, your money counter goes bonkers and suddenly you have max coinage. This is super handy if you want to collect those coins as quickly as possible, except when you get out of the stage you have to then wait a couple of minutes for your money to calculate and add to your bank. But that's kind of a nice problem to have though. Next up, I was super keen to try the code EIXEIZEY, which claims that some enemies automatically die, which sounded pretty good to me. I tried this on a couple of different levels, but unfortunately I could only get the first few enemies of the Amazon level to instantly die. I am sure there are more that are affected, but this is what I found in my short test. Give it a try yourself and let me know below if you find any other enemies that die in this game from it. And finally, the last code I will leave you with is the 2-line Game Genie code AVXILKAL plus AVUSAKAL. And with this bad boy in place, you will be able to walk through walls. This is actually super fun, especially on levels like Transylvania, where it's a bit of a maze. Instead of navigating your way through it, you can literally walk through it. Well, walls that is. I was kind of hoping that this would allow me to slip into the African mines without needing a key, but that pesky nephew kept taking me back to Transylvania, no matter how hard I tried to evade him. So all in all, this is a super fun cheat code, and despite a couple of bugs here and there, I would give this one a go if I was you. Anyway, that's it for today my friends. I do hope you enjoyed this Game Genie video on the NES classic DuckTales. If you did, then be sure to smash that like button, subscribe if you are new, make a comment down below, and maybe even share it with one of your fellow retro gaming friends. And with all that said, I'll catch you soon my friends.